I thought he was gonna mug me. I was like, why is this man walking up to me in such conviction? We've never met in person, I don't think.
No, literally.
Get my bum in.
So this is like literally the first time we've ever met, right?
I'm so happy to meet you. Also, you're so handsome.
You're so gorgeous.
I knew you were
Look at
handsome. I think the reason I followed you originally is because I always get hot guys follow me, and then I always go to their profile to, oh, hot guy follow me, gay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why can't hot bisexual or straight guys follow me?
How would you describe yourself to the world?
I actually don't know. Do you know what? You've known me for a really interesting time from like, in my like activist days.
Yeah.
So now I'm like big influencer days.
How would I describe you? There's so many different ways that I could go with this, but let's go with the professional route because we're professionals. I would describe you as a author,
Yeah.
activist,
Yeah.
actor.
Oh, yeah.
You're the kind of content that I go to if I need an absolute boost.
That's exactly the answer I needed, because that's why I do what I do with
Yeah.
everything I do, from the books to the activism to the influencer stuff.
Yeah.
It's all about just like bringing like queer people a bit of joy. When there's bad things going on, like my response will always be clap back with like sassiness and funniness. Basically like the person that I needed when I was growing up.
I would agree with that because I definitely didn't have the courage to even do half the that you did, you know? So when I tune into that, it definitely gets me on like a much deeper level, and it really excites it heals the inner child, you know?
Thank you, Jays. That actually is why I do it though, because like for me it was when I saw like Nadia on Big Brother.
Oh God, yeah.
And I was just like, I just want to be like that
Yeah.
for the next generation. I've like Nadia herself told me that I remind her of a younger her. And
Really?
I cried. I was like, this is the biggest compliment I could ever be
Yeah.
given, because she's the reason I am the way I am. Like the sass, the
Yeah.
funniness, the gobbiness.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh la 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 la.
In the name of like T.S. Madison, can you do that thing where she just asks you to like sell yourself in unapologetically?
Okay, I'll sell myself. Excuse me, does anyone want me? I am Charlie Craggs. I am the clapback queen. I am the Grinch of the trans community, according to the Daily Mail, and the voice of a community, according to British Vogue.
Do you ever take a moment to like acknowledge all the things that you have like done, achieved? Like, it's like pretty wild to me that one human being literally like write books, like act, build a social media presence. Do you ever like acknowledge all of them?
Yes, every day. I Google myself once a day. And that's the only joke. And well, firstly, mainly to check that like no more hateful Daily Mail articles have come out about me. But then also just to remind myself, I look for my Google images, I'm like, I love myself. I really do. I like, you know, when people say like, did you ever know you were going to be a success when you were growing up? I'm like, yeah, I was gay growing up. Like, I thought I was going to be more successful than I am, if anything, like on MP or something. Like, I've got a lot more to do and to achieve.
Have a glimpse into our real
Also,
life.
let's just keep walking up and down until I get recognized on camera. That would be really good for this. It'll make you look like you're into someone really successful.
Yes, please. I love the fact that I was absolutely terrified of even doing anything like this, and I just mapped it.
Why would you be terrified?
I don't know. I don't know what it was, but
You're
like I
so-
just really hated being in front of the camera.
Okay, you're so silly. You're so silly. Like, I like think of you as so successful. And when you were just saying to me there, it's like, oh, it's crazy that someone could do this and this. And I'm like, I look at you and think the same. I'm like,
Really?
yes, I really do. I wouldn't, no offense, I wouldn't be following you if you were a loser.
Oh.
You need
that's
to
really flattering.
remind yourself that you're that person as well. I think you're
Yeah.
Have you Googled yourself before? Maybe you should do what I do, just Google yourself every day and just like remind yourself who you are. I like go on my Wikipedia every day and I'm like, that's better.
So I once Googled myself, very tame. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to Google. And then the first thing came up from a PR event from like, I'm talking like 10 years ago, and it was for nipple balm. Stood in front of this, like, what was it called? Like the thing where they put all the logos. The nipple balm? Really?
But again, kind of iconic. No?
I mean, I definitely emailed them. I was like, please, can you take this down? And they were like, no.
Oh, grow up. If you saw me do that, you would live. If I
live.
post on Instagram in front of a nipple balm event, you'd be like, Diva, get those nips moist. You said you better keep those nips fresh.
I think with like the fashion industry and like advertising, you're taught to be, and this, you're kind of taught to be like a certain version of yourself.
Absolutely not. I'm the complete antithesis of that. Because I've lent into being the opposite,
Yeah.
I don't get shamed at all. And also, I'm the one winning because it means I can turn up to anything, be in a mess, looking a mess, not holding myself to this standard that everyone else is like having to pretend to be perfect. Like I go to the Glamour Women of the Year Awards every year in a t-shirt with a slogan on it that I make, but like everyone else is hiring stylists to get them like in £1,000 or £10,000 dress.
True.
I'm winning by just being like leaning into the like not doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Don't do it the right way. Like I've done that my whole career. Same with my book or same with my public speaking. I'm known for being real and speaking in an informal way, and I'm my charm and being like conversational. If I had started off doing it the right way and been really formal, then I'd be held to that bar every time I do. Do you know that who's winning? Me, because that means every time I do a public talk, that I get paid the same amount of money as somebody who does it the formal way and has to learn their thing off by heart and have a slides of stats. Who's winning? Me, because I get paid the same and just be funny and charming. The reason I lent into that and like, so I knew I was being like not as brand friendly by posting the, like the naughty stuff. But like I said, the engagement doesn't lie. 80,000 likes on that post of me saying that when someone's like, you can't have kids. And I was like, your dad loves it because he can shoot his potent daddy deep into me without having to worry he's going to have another child like you who's going to be living in his basement using his Wi-Fi for free. Do you know what I mean? The fact that I can remember, like, iconic. Don't hold yourself to the stupid rules. Like, it's so stupid.
Moving on, I think what is really important to talk about is those moments where perhaps we've been striving for something for so long, we've been working really hard at it, we're exhausted, things are not going where we wanted to go. And I've definitely come across that multiple points in my career. I know when we met, and I hope you don't mind talking about it, that was definitely a point that you were kind of experiencing.
I'm still
Would
in
you be
it.
able to like tell people a bit more about that?
Absolutely, and I think we need to talk about it because that lets us know that like it doesn't make you feel like you're so alone in it, and that it's so huge. Because when you're in it and you look around on social media and it looks like everyone else is doing amazing, and we all know it, like everyone just posts their show reel of their best bits, but it doesn't make it any less hard. The reason I actually chose to speak out about it, I remember probably about a year ago now, I posted, hey guys, just to let you all know, I'm selling my house that I've just bought because I flopped. Like I literally thought I'd won life. I grew up on free school meals. I grew up on a council estate where I had a car park, an ugly car park out my window. I've now done so well in my career to the point where I've bought a house with I have a magnolia tree outside my window. Like, do you know how middle class I am? I spoke about it because I was just like, you can only be shamed by something you're ashamed of. And I give up that shame. Like, this is not my shame. And if anything, it will like help other people, I think, see that it's not linear. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to sell this house and I'm going to move back to London and live in a studio. But guess what? I bet you any money, and we can cut to this in 5 years. In 5 years' time, I'll be living in a 3-bed house again that I will own outright. I think we need to talk about these things to like free ourselves of the shackles of that shame, but also free other people and let them know like we're all flopping.
And I think it leads nicely into like the kind of work we've been together. I don't want to like harp on it too much, but we've been doing like sort of like one-to-one coaching. How would you describe that experience, like that process, as somebody that's like never come across that thing at all?
This is me being totally upfront, guy. When you asked me, I was like, I have absolutely nothing to lose, but I didn't think I'd gain anything. I was like, if I'm honest, I was like, I'm going to do it because I was in the worst. When you messaged me, it was so serendipitous because I feel in such a rut. Though work is so quiet, I'm not working hard to make it not quiet. Like have such a block. I can't explain it. I'm about to lose my house, and yet I will sit down with a coffee and make another coffee and make another coffee, trying to get myself ready, and I'm just like, nothing is coming. When you offered, I was in the middle of that, and I was like, I don't think it's going to work between us, but I'll say yes because I'm not going to lose anything. Clearly was wrong because today I'm on my way into London to film this review. Got a gig on my way, and a gig called me up. I'm doing another podcasty thing with ITV. All of a sudden, like that block is removed. I don't understand the science behind it, but there's something to it because it's clearly worked. It's just shifted things, and I felt the shift as we were doing the sessions. Like, do you remember? Crazy. Like, I would literally feel it. I'd be like I was a skeptic, and I was going into it not really thinking it was going to do anything. So for me and you would see it on my face, so I'd be like, oh, I actually do feel a shift.
I'm doing this because I love empowering people, and I really want to give back when I can. And so I didn't know anything about your circumstance. Truly, they obviously never like told me that stuff, but I know like everything that you've done for me and for the queer community. I just want to be able to like give that back because you bring me so much like joy.
I really mean it. When I'm really famous, you have this one to blame because we did a session, our last session. We like worked through the actual blocks, and then the last session was where I was like, I want to be really famous. I was like, I have a block though. I was like, I feel like I should be more famous than I am right now. So we said the last session, literally being like, I believe I will be famous. It was mild. It was like that. You know the clip of insert clip of Venus Delight on that like weird show where she was like, I am Madonna. And she's like, believes she's Madonna. She's like looking in the mirror and drag, I am Madonna. And I was like, I will be famous. I am famous. So when I'm really famous, you have this one to blame because if that block gets removed, that was you.
Oh God, it's still so.
And I'm
so
on my
funny.
way. I'm on my way right now. I'm gonna apply for the X Factor right now.
Because the thing is, like, you had all the ideas. Like, this was the thing. You were literally like, I've got this book idea. I'm going to be talking about doing a podcast.
Yeah.
You had all these things. It's like, I have it all. And so just being able to, like, clear that path and then see you actually just go out and do it. I mean, like you said, we're literally meeting you from a PR event. We've changed location, you know.
Yeah.
She's not at either, I promise.
Yeah.
And then we're going off to, like, your next podcast for ITV.
Actually, last night, I finalized my book proposal for my second book. I've got management now, like a big manager. Yeah, I did. I'm with Off Limits Grief. Jessie Nelson's management. I want to be the next Jessie Nelson. No.
Off limit, won't we?
Oh, why is she laughing behind the cut? Again, get your head in the game.
So what's like one conversation that's really like blown your mind? What's blown your world?
I mean, the biggest conversation of my life is when I came out as trans. Like, I've been not much talks that, but it wasn't actually with my parents, who like I knew were going to be fine with it because they were like so accepting of me being gay and stuff. And then I became out as a drag queen, so like I knew they were going to be fine. But it's when I came out to my
Sorry,
nan.
did you come out as a drag queen?
Yeah, I don't know why I came out as a drag queen, but I basically was doing drag before I transitioned.
I did not know that.
I mean, every trans woman did. All the gays who transition, like,
Yeah.
for a period, they're a drag queen, and they're like, actually, do you know what? I like this a little too much. I really don't want to take this makeup off. Anyway, the conversation that I was scared to have was with my nana, who was like my everything. I got tattoos for her. Like, she's like my absolute, other than my mum and my dad, like my everything. And I was worried because, first of all, she was like 80 something, 84, 85. Yeah. She had dementia as well, so she could hardly remember. She wasn't in the headspace of being polite. So I worried that she's going to just be blunt, but also she was very, very, very religious. I'm from an Irish Catholic family. My nana was so...
I'm Irish Protestant.
But I was really worried that she was just going to not get it and not accept me. But I was like, I want to come out to her because obviously I'm going to start presenting different. I told her she could not have given me like a better answer. She's like, and I knew she meant it as well. And do you know how I knew she meant it? Because like I said, she had dementia, and every time I saw her and had to re-explain to her, she would say the same thing every time. So it was like from the heart. And she was like, God loves you and I love you, and that's all that matters. Having said that, she was like, Charlie's not the right name for you. Charlie's trash whore name. It just meant so much to me that I got my nan's acceptance before she passed. And she passed not long after that. I treasure that. That's the most important conversation of my life. I just really cried, and I'm so like, this whole conversation, like anyone watching will understand that I'm like very confident, could not give a what anyone thinks of me, but I cared what my nan thought of me. Yeah. Having her acceptance meant so much. So that's probably the most important conversation I've ever had in my life. I think after that, you just feel like so free that you're like, you can do anything. And I didn't think I'd get that. Like I said, she was so religious.
I think it could be very easy as well when we have these conversations talking about like work and career. But actually, why do we do all of this?
I know why we do this, and this is the actual conversation that maybe matters, is that one of the most important conversations I had was when there's a little trans girl whose mum follows me. The little girl dressed up as me. The World Book Day, Noah. Hi Noah, we love you. Noah's mum was like, she looks up to you so much. The fact that you stand up for yourself, she's gonna need that with her going to secondary school soon and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, that is why I do what I do. Going back to my first question with you where you asked me like, sell yourself and who I am and why I am, and it was Nadia for me. I am her Nadia. I did it. I did it. That's why I do what I do, and like that was the most important conversation in my career.
That's amazing. That's so powerful. So before we end the pod, for those that that don't follow you, where can they find you?
They can find me on a Grinder, and they can find me on Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I just said, Charlie_Craggs.
Stunning. Well, thank you so much for doing today. You are literally
thank you
my
for-
first guest, which is like wild. She's popped her cherry the right way. And our first time meeting, it was so lovely.
I know it was. I feel like I know you.
Oh, same.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. You weren't even going to tell me.
Oh my god, I totally forgot.
Ah!
I literally
That was a
wore-
bit. That was a
No,
bit
no.
loud. He's wearing my merch, and he didn't even tell me. And I
totally
I just saw this much, and I was like, "That's my illustration."
I
I
totally
said,
forgot.
"I know that shade of red because I picked it
I
myself."
definitely cut. You're going to have to undo it for me, Charlie.
Oh, I'd love to.
But look. Ta-da.
There's Christians right there, so I'm gonna whisper. It says the T in LGBT is for try me. I love you. That's so sweet. I can't believe I recognized it from this much of the font.
100%.
You look so. Let's get a photo.